Hello, welcome everyone who's joining the Eureka Power Release webinar. We're going to give it another 2 minutes for people to join, so just hang on. Hello, welcome to those who just joined. We're going to give another minute or so for a few more people before we kick off the Eureka Release webinar. All right, we're going to kick off the webinar. Thank you for those who joined. This is a review of Eureka's power release. So thank you very much for joining us. My name is Daniel Goldstein from the product management team here at Youreka. And we've got Gary Stom, who is also transitioning from product management to solution engineering and leading our solution engineering team at Youreka. So thanks, Gary, for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Daniel. Super excited to be back.
All right, so a few things we want to touch on today is talk about Youreka's new app, and then go over everything, kind of the newest, biggest features in the power release, and then a demo. We want it. What's better than showing you this firsthand? So this has been a long time in the making. Those of you who've been with Youreka customer partner for a while, this isn't news. You've heard about this. Hopefully you've heard about it, but we have been in a long process of rebuilding our new app, our mobile app from the ground up, leveraging the latest technology, freeing ourselves from older dependencies, and basically allowing us to move faster, going ahead, having the highest standards of security and technology, leveraging the latest frameworks and plugins. And what this means for you, our customers and partners, is the ability for us to deliver features quickly, to have a strong, stable, fast app. And we wouldn't be able to release some of the features we're going to discuss if we had not moved over to the newest capabilities. And so you will see, for the time being, 2 apps out there on the App Store. One is Youreka Mobile. This is our good, faithful app that's been around for years with tens of thousands of end users using it today. And then Youreka New, also called the White app, which is the new app, which is GA, which is in a great state for customers to start testing out and using. And our goal is, by the end of the year, to have all of our customers on the new app and to slowly sunset the blue app. But don't worry, we have a plan. We're going to have more. We're going to communicate a lot about that. But start thinking about it, because everything we're going to talk about and show today is only in the new app. So one of the big areas of improvements is sync improvements. And syncing is a big word. It means we're doing a lot of stuff around bringing data down from Salesforce, sending data back up. But we have found in our initial benchmarking testing that it can be up to 25% faster. Plus, it will be more targeted and quicker. And the goal of getting workers to work quicker, getting them all the data they need as quick as possible, allowing them to finish the work and get that data synced and saved back up to Salesforce. And a lot of this involves backend improvements that we were only able to make on this latest app, plus a lot of UI enhancements and just the concept of having a progress bar and seeing what's going on and keeping users engaged instead of maybe an endless syncing circle, which kind of doesn't give you an indication of what's going on or how long it could potentially take. So please take a look at that. We have a lot of documentation. It's ready to be used. We've documented what changes need to be made in the back end, but we really strongly recommend downloading the app, testing it in Sandbox with all of your existing flows and form templates and so on, and validating that everything works the way you would expect it to. With that, over to the Power release, which came out May 3rd. And we've been focusing on different areas of impact to customers and to end users. And the first and foremost is technician experience. So those end users, field workers out in the field, we want to give them all the data and knowledge they need at their fingertips to complete their jobs quicker, better, the first time, without any unforeseen hiccups that we could have avoided ahead of time. We're going to touch on some of those areas there. Platform is a lot of the underlying work which we're doing behind the scenes, which a lot of the work has been with the new app and completing the migration and stability and performance around that. Some smaller things we've released is we're continuing to update SFS, Salesforce Field Service. So Salesforce Field Service mobile app allows you to embed components inside of it. So we're continuing to enhance ours and have released some UI enhancements. So that's out there to test around. I would say it's still, we still have some strides to go to get to production ready, but it's definitely available for testing out, and we appreciate feedback. Salesforce License Management is, again, another backend capability, but it allows us to, when you open up cases to Youreka, and grant us access to your sandboxes, we can log in just like Salesforce support does and debug Youreka code there quicker, easier, which will allow us to kind of get down and solve issues quicker. So digital asset repository is the capability to download photos and files to your form. This is needed in a lot of use cases, and Gary's going to show some of the use cases here. But think of the idea of a technician going back on site after someone was there a few weeks ago, maybe a year ago, and found a problem. In this picture here, someone went there to kind of show the gas meter. And when someone comes back now for this current visit, they want to see what was taken, what pictures were captured there last time. So this is brand new capability. You can download any files or PDFs and any photos from basically any record you want in Salesforce and have that embedded directly within the form, giving technicians all the data, all the information they need for that specific job. So very exciting. This is actually one of our most requested features by customers. So extremely excited to get that out there and in your hands. Next is the ability to leverage while offline, while out in the field, to generate PDFs. This has been there for a long time. The form you have can be generated as a PDF, but you can now share it using whatever capabilities, the capabilities that iOS and Android have. So this means that you can print it if you have an offline Bluetooth printer right from the truck or wherever you're at, and this is needed for certain use cases and customers that we've talked to, or you can save it as a file on your device or share it with a customer directly through AirDrop or share nearby. So it just opens up a lot of abilities to use that PDF right out in the field. With that, we want to talk about how all of these new features and latest capabilities help bring the end-to-end experience of what we're calling the Youreka omni-channel customer experience, how it brings it together. And what I mean by this is how Youreka can help tie the whole experience of a customer, the whole journey of a customer together. So if you think about a customer has a problem, they can log into the Salesforce Experience Cloud, formerly known as Communities, and upload and create a ticket, leveraging Youreka, uploading whatever data information they need. This in turn can go back to Service Cloud console and have a service agent triage it, figure out what's going on there, and decide what steps to take next, all within the context of Youreka's guided procedures and data capture. And from there on, this can be sent out to the field, to a field technician, to get all that same data that was provided by the customer right at their fingertips within the context of that work, and to go and complete the work. And that is the Youreka omni-channel customer experience. And this is what we really want to kind of show you, and show you how all of our latest and existing capabilities come together to provide this experience. And with that, over to you, Gary.
All right, let me share my screen as well. And so today I'd like to tell that omni-channel experience story. And so I recorded a demo this morning, and the story that I'm looking to tell is to show how we can experience Youreka in that omni-channel experience from Community Cloud and the support service console, and then even from that mobile experience. And we're going to start with a customer who has some outage in the area. Their internet or cable is down, and they want to submit a ticket to their provider to try to troubleshoot that. So let me get started here, and we'll show you what that looks like directly inside of an example community that I've stood up. So here we're accessing Youreka, and we're going to fill out a couple of different data points in the form. Now you can configure this form however you'd like. I'm speeding this up so you can see quickly and easily how we can start to fill that data out. Now we're going to upload a photo that we noticed as well. And so this is where the digital asset repository comes into play. And so customer also noticed my internet's out, but there also was a tree down the road, and this perhaps could be related. So they snapped a photo, they're going to drag it and drop it into the ticket that they're creating in the community to provide that additional contextual evidence so that they can try to troubleshoot their own internet as quickly as possible. So we'll upload that file here, and then we'll complete the form in just a second. And that data will all be captured directly inside of Salesforce. We can drive automation to create cases or work orders, etc. And so when we complete this form, we'll transition here because I do have some automation firing in the background. And so we're going to transition to the support center console. And so here, for instance, I can see any and all of my cases or work orders or anything that had been created. And I've got a customer that has outage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the phone as a contact center agent. I'm going to call them, and I'm going to access a Youreka form to try to troubleshoot their issue that they're having with their internet. So here, directly inside of console, I'm pulling open a new troubleshooting form, and I'm going to start to work through the form. I'm going to pause it here for a quick second. Along that way, our support team can navigate through the form, and it'll guide them through that process. So perhaps as we're just connecting with our customer, there might be communication that we want to make sure that we execute for compliance reasons and maybe polite reasons. We want to show our customer we appreciate them and give a proper greeting and so on and so forth. And then we'll look under the hood and we'll start to troubleshoot that internet issue. So we'll tick a couple of boxes here. And again, I'm speeding this up just so we can see it quickly and easily. So we can have those types of complex data points all captured to guide someone over the phone to try to make sure that their router is plugged in properly, they've restarted their modem, and we're making sure that it's powering up and so on and so forth. Now you'll notice here at the end that unfortunately didn't solve our customer's problem. So as we submit the form, that's going to automatically create a work order service appointment, assign that to my field technician. They're going to open up a form and we'll transition to mobile here in just a second. And so from the mobile experience, this is the Youreka application. I'm sure you are all pretty familiar with it. And we're going to see a brand new form here as we check in. And so this is our incident report that was noted, and we're going to follow up and go on and take a look at the assets that are in the area to see exactly what issues might have arisen. So we're going to tab into the form itself, and you'll see we have all that rich contextual information that came from the data that was captured originally in Salesforce in that community cloud experience. That pushes right into the form, so I have that valuable text information that's helpful. But in just a second, you'll see we'll get even more than just the text. I'll continue to navigate through the form here. And again, from the mobile experience, it does a great job of navigating us according to how we respond to questions. So to prompt certain questions, as we respond to that information, we can use voice to text and point our finger to sign, just validating that we've completed our job safety assessment and everything's lined up so that we can start to actually do some troubleshooting. Now here we're going to zoom in and we're going to take a look at the digital asset repository in action. And this brand new feature, what it does, like Daniel had mentioned, if somebody was on site before and they noticed that there was an issue with an asset, they can take a photo of the exact asset, the exact location, the exact issue that they had identified, and that'll push into the form downstream. Now, in our use case, we had a customer that had some internet outage, and they noticed that a tree was down. So they captured that photo, and that was all done in the community cloud inside of a Youreka form that pushed directly into this form itself. So we're going to zoom in here. These are the customer photos from the portal, and we can see that exact tree down over the wire. And it looks like we've got some bigger issues as well. Whoever owns that vehicle there crushed nonetheless. But this is very helpful for us because it gives us that contextual information that lets us know exactly what asset we have an issue on, where we need to render the work, and you can have multiple images flowing in, so I know exactly the information that needs to be rendered when and where. And so we'll let this run. And so again, I speed this up just so you can experience the form itself. We do things, of course, like barcode scanning to enter that data quickly and easily. We guide people through forms. We can do some formulas and calculations. Depending upon responses, it'll hide and expose certain data points. You can add work order, line items, related list data, add all that information. We take some photos here. You can annotate on photos, and again, use voice to text to capture that information. Use the point of your finger to sign, and so on and so forth. Now, we're going to submit this in just a second. And we'll see all of that rich data back in Salesforce, all reportable natively inside of Salesforce. You can use Einstein to analyze photos, and you can do sentimental analysis. You can use discoveries from Youreka to flag actionable data. If there's follow-up appointments that we need, or maybe we want to ship a customer a new modem or router in advance because they continually have these types of problems. This way we could proactively try to solve a future problem. But before we see all of that data back in Salesforce, I want to show you the other brand new feature that's being released here in Power. Now, this is the ability to print PDFs. Now, a lot of our customers are out in those remote locations. They don't have internet. They aren't connected to a wireless network, but they still want to leave a customer a leave behind. A PDF form showing them that they had gone through that smart form with all the rich outputted data. Customer had signed off validating that everything is up and running now. And so what we'll see here in the top left, we can toggle open our options panel here, and there's a generate PDF button on the bottom left. And we can generate that PDF. In our prior releases, we were able to email that. In this release, now, of course, if you've got Bluetooth printing in your truck, you can print that up. You can airdrop it. You can use all of the things that your mobile device does well. So, of course, you certainly can email it. You can save that file locally, and we'll go through the experience of printing it here, where you can select pages and print it to your Bluetooth printer, and then, of course, have that data left behind so that your customer has that outputted report validating that we've completed everything. Now, I'll finish up and I'll show you all that rich data back in Salesforce. We have a carbon copy of that form with all of the photos that we had taken, the digital asset repository, all the text that we captured, the information from customer, all of the questions and answers that we had captured, the signing, the e-signature, and so on and so forth. That's all captured here, and it's related to my work order or case or whatever object you're using in Salesforce, standard or custom. And you'll see all of that data can push back to those records as well. And it's not just dependent upon just pushing data back to a case or work order. We also can push child-related data, multiple rows of data, and you can see work order line items there as well. That was a lot in a brief period of time, but just to round it out, we were able to tell that omni-channel experience where a customer had internet outage. They uploaded a photo, and then contact center agent experienced Youreka in the contact center and tried to guide us through to troubleshoot our internet. Unfortunately, they couldn't finish it up, so they deployed a field service technician who was able to see all of the troubleshooting steps that we had taken, including the photo that was uploaded from our customer. And then they were able to work on site, know exactly what work was done and rendered everything, and then we're able to get the internet up and running all quickly and easily. I hope that was helpful, but that rounds out everything that I wanted to show, Daniel.
Great, thank you, Gary. That looked great. Thank you for sharing all that.
My pleasure.
Right. So we got through this pretty quick. I don't know if we have any questions. If we want to open it up, I actually don't even know. Well, if you do have a question, you can add it in the chat of Zoom, or I think you can unmute if you want to talk, and then you can try to answer any questions you have.
So we have a question that came in from Rodney. And the PDF use custom logos? Yes, it can. So one of the changes that we can make to the PDF is by adding your custom logo in there. And Jen, if you have it handy, can you grab a support article? If not, Rodney, we can send you a support article for adding that in the future.
I will say, while we're waiting for more questions to come in, please take a look at our, let me share my screen and I can try to show this. Our knowledge base and release notes are up to date. We spend a fair amount of time every release making sure they're up to speed. So if you go to Youreka.io, resources knowledge base, you can find all of our different articles. The release notes for Power are here. I'm documenting all the features. A long article about the Digit Asset Repository, because it is such a rich feature and there's so much you can do with it. So we have a lot of information here about how to set up, how to configure, and considerations. Also, the print safe PDFs. There is a knowledge base article here, which pretty sure has an explanation about changing the logo. Should be on here somewhere. So please take a look. Yeah, changing the logo. Any questions you have, obviously feel free to reach out to us or to your customer success manager. But I would say, first of all, always worth taking a quick look, because most questions that have been asked, or you might have been asked before, and we've written a knowledge base about it. Any other questions, Gary, come in that you see?
That's it. Quiet group today.
All right. Well, I guess we can wrap up. Thank you, everyone, for the time. Like we start off saying, we are very excited about the Power release and where our latest, the new mobile app is. So please test that out, check it out, start to use it, and give the new features a try. I think there's some amazing new features and capabilities here. What's amazing about the digital asset repository is that we have the use cases that we've heard and we've built it for that, but we've already been hearing different use cases and how that can open up opportunities to bring more data down the fingertips of those field workers and people completing forms. There's a lot you can do with that. And with that, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. And have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.